Greetings, YouTuber. You have entered the world of electrified network gaming and streaming. And here is your host, all the way from the internet, Sly885.
Sup, YouTube? It's your boy, Sly885. Okay. Sorry, a bug just landed on me and started flying away. Oh my god, it freaked me out. That was uncomfortable, holy crap. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Jeez. Anyways, brand new React video, Jonathan Pie. I have even more motivated to make it even shorter. Let's just get this going. I missed out on the second most recent Jonathan Pie React video because I actually wasn't aware it was released, even though he's added the notifications. Probably because my computer was still being waiting for its part to be replaced, and I'd rather react on a computer than on my phone anyways. My React videos on my phone, I did not really enjoy making them, and clearly people didn't really enjoy watching them. There's not very many views on them at all. But anyways, let's do this. And hopefully no bugs start landing on my arm and flying away. Like, oh, just don't even touch me. I'm gonna react to the brand new one that just came out a few hours ago.
Who will you be voting for as the country goes to the polls? Well, certainly not the fucking Tories, that's for sure.
Okay.
I don't know, Labour, Green, are the Lib Dems still a thing?
Lib Dems?
Vote for the guy with a fucking bin on his head, for all I care. Spoil your paper, draw a cock, perfectly legal.
There we go.
Don't vote Tory.
Draw
Don't
a
vote
cock.
for a bunch of entitled Etonians who have demonstrated time and again that they are in it for themselves, to make money and connections, and take our taxes and hand it out to their rich mates, sucking the life out of the welfare system before leaving office and sitting on a corporate board lobbying your old Westminster chums.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
What happens here?
They are not here to make sure your bins are collected on time,
Nope.
or to stick to their international obligations, or
Nope.
make the cladding on the side of your building fireproof, or ensure your grandmother is safe in a pandemic, or ensure a high standard of education no matter your economic background. They are in it for themselves. Most of these morally bankrupt Tory arseholes would daily risk the sack if they were used car salesmen.
Wow.
A vote for the Tories is a vote for Boris Johnson, a man who thinks that repeatedly going is a valid answer to a question. A man without a moral compass, without conviction, although if you look at his charge sheet, he should have a string of them. A man willing to change his political beliefs
Holy crap,
in
the
order
camera's
to
going
advance
crazy on this
his
one.
political career, who is not interested in taking seriously the job that he coveted and stabbed so many in the back to get. A
Yeah.
man who was busy picking out £850 a roll wallpaper instead of attending Cobra meetings, who doesn't fire cabinet members who have broken the ministerial code. A man whose dithering indecision on COVID cost us lives, thousands of them. Let the bodies pile up. Even if he didn't say it, it sounds like the sort of crass thing he would say.
Okay.
A man who's
Yeah.
been fired twice for lying. That's the crux. That's the crux of it. He's a liar. He lies. His lies are no secret. A dirty, lying bastard. This is a referendum on Boris and his government. This is the midterms. It's time to give them a bloody nose. Give the Tories another reason to boot this prick out of number 10 and get someone else. Anyone else whose face I can fucking look at without a bit of sick coming up. Unless, of course, they replace Boris with Michael Gove, in which case, I don't know. Every household is going to have a collection of sick bags next to the sofa for every time his Punch and Judy on Smack face pops up on the TV. Don't vote Tory. It can be hard to get excited about local elections, but outside of a general election, this is the most significant democratic process that the public...
All right. That was an come on. That was an interesting short one. I was considering including his other most recent video in my React, but I want to actually, for once, have a short React video. So, that was interesting. Unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about what's going on in UK politics. I don't know what's going on in their local elections or anything like that. But, you know, it's again, I'm going to point this out, and I've pointed this out before. Boris Johnson and Donald Trump actually, don't they look kind of similar? And then ironically, they're both in their country's conservative party. They both are flat out liars. Like, they're so identical, and it's sad. I'm not going to compare it to the presidential election that we just had in 2020, where people would say if you don't, any vote that isn't for Biden's a vote for Trump, even though that's not how it works. It's been proven that the Libertarian Party is quite conservative, and quite frankly, if you vote for them, by that logic that you're taking a vote away from Biden and giving it to Trump, if you vote Libertarian, by that logic, you're actually taking a vote away from Trump, for example. So I'm not going to, speak for stuff like that in terms of this, of what Jonathan Pie was saying about the local elections, because it's probably completely different entirely. But once again, Jonathan Pie, he's hilarious. He proves really solid points in what he has to say, and he's quite funny in what he has to say, and I appreciate seeing this right now. I don't know who those of you who are watching from the UK. What is your perspective on these local elections? I'm curious to read that in the comments, actually, because I personally don't know. Obviously we have local elections here. In 2020, not only did we have the presidential election, but we had some local elections here in California, and every state had them. But different propositions on the ballot and so on. One thing that I was noticing that in the propositions on the ballots is that so many of them involved raising taxes to do something, and so many of these propositions over the past several elections have passed, but what they were passed for, to raise these taxes for, as far as I know, have not been done. So when I read these, and I was like, oh, it's going to raise taxes to use them for this and use them for that, and it's like, no. You know what? I'm done with this. I voted no on a lot of propositions because I was sick of how the cost of living here in California just keeps exponentially going up, and taxes keep going up. And to be honest, maybe it's because of some of these propositions. Taxes are going up to improve infrastructure and stuff. I'm not noticing the change. Not at all. In fact, gentrification, all that's really done here in my home. I'm in front of the Roanoke Park Library right now, but just a few minutes north is my hometown of Santa Rosa. Much larger, much more population. 40,000 people in Roanoke Park, 175,000 people in Santa Rosa. Fifth most populated city in the San Francisco Bay Area, most populated city in the North Bay, most populated city in wine country, most populated city between San Francisco and Portland. So yeah, it's pretty big. But anyways, gentrification has been happening in Santa Rosa, and all that's been doing is just. All they've been doing for gentrification is building houses that nobody can afford. What's the point? You're building a house that's like $500,000, $600,000, and you expect this to help with things? All that's doing is just making the rest of the area more expensive along with it, and it's not helping at all. Don't get me wrong, it's not more. Santa Rosa isn't more expensive than San Francisco, not even close. It's not as expensive as San Jose. It's not as expensive as Oakland. It's more expensive than Sacramento, the state capital of California. Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's frustrating. The cost of living goes up just for the sake of going up, and it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. That's actually why my immediate family, that counts, that is, they all moved out of California. They live in Idaho now because it's much cheaper there. It's beginning to get more expensive there because of all the sadly because of all the Californians moving there, but it still is cheaper there. You know, I should really come up with a music video, but do a parody of the Marlena Shaw song "California Soul," show an animation of California taking over the United States. And what I mean is, you know, all the Californians leaving California to go to other states. Although, to be realistic, it would only show conquering of, you know, Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, maybe Montana, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas. You know, and maybe North and South Dakota, but that's it. You know, we're not moving to the East Coast so much, except maybe Florida. And possibly Georgia and North Carolina, and that's basically it. Anyways, well, that concludes this React video. I guess I went on rambling about other stuff that was unrelated, so sorry about that, but it just kind of made me think about the local stuff here as well, and I am still curious, anybody who's watching from the UK, yeah, that includes you, Bad Wolf, I know you're my #1 fan, you're awesome, but anybody from the UK, please, what do you think about the politics going on there, about the elections, the local stuff, so on? I've heard that the UK is more than 2 parties, which is awesome. We are a stupid, terrible 2-party system run by 2 parties that only care about benefiting their pockets and remaining in power, much like Jonathan Pie had mentioned about some of the people who are in the UK government right now. But I've also heard that when it comes to prime minister elections, only 2 major parties ever win. Is that actually true? Has a third party ever won for the prime ministers, or no? I'd love to see a third party succeed and break the 2-party system in the United States, much like how in most of Europe and down in Mexico and up in Canada, there are multiple parties and they are being held more accountable. Canada does have a 3-party system. Mexico has, I don't know, 4 something, I don't remember. The countries that are run the best, I guess other than Mexico, have, you know, more political parties because they're being held accountable because they actually can lose their spots. Anyways, that'll conclude this React video. Thank you so much for watching.